All right, what's going on? What's going on? This is Ola coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. Live from my Empire Pro Studios. My name is Ola. I am the author of Smart Real Estate Wholesaling. This is a book you can get absolutely for free at smartrealestatewholesaling.com. If you go there, we also have this available real estate money secrets. Okay, and real estate money secrets covers everything you need to know about real estate if you want to make money in real estate. All right, everything from how to get started. And funny enough, we're going to talk about how to get started today. But also, I'm going to dive into some stuff, some advanced stuff today. All right. So, in this book, we talk about auctions, agencies, online ads, and PPCs, things like that. All right. So before I move any too further, let's just make sure that the audio is working fine. How's that? How's the audio? Just make sure everything is working fine in the audio. All right, that's good. All right, good. All right, so thank you so much for those of you that keep coming back here to watch the rebroadcast. I know life is hard. Life happens. It's hard to kind of like come here live, but either way, I come here and I show you what we got going on. Awesome. All right, so there's a question that I wanted to address, take a few minutes to address today. Um, and it's a very simple question, okay? It's a very simple question. So I'm going to try to address it as always from our 5 stages of wholesaling or flipping houses nationwide. All right, I'm going to try to address it from there. Here's the question. Question goes, hey, I'm 19 and I'm a college student. I want to start wholesaling houses, but I'm concerned about the money it takes to start up and to get my first deal. How should I go about it? Now, this question is a valid question. It's a good question, and I understand where it's coming from. Usually, when older folks ask this question, it comes from a different place. When kids ask this question, it comes from a different place. It's 19-year-old asking this question. They just want to know how much it's going to cost, to run this business. But I have a question. I have an answer for that. I have a one word answer for that. But I don't want to do the easy thing. I also want to take time on this question and really have you understand from both ends, and also from the end of a person who is 19 and from a 49-year-old person if they were asking the same question. Okay, so there's a certain percentage of a 49, 39-year-old person that will ask this question, that they're asking that question from a defense standpoint. Okay, from a defense standpoint. So let me explain what I mean by this. Okay, so you have a in any game, this is all games. Let's be frank. This is all games. Okay, and the people that play this as a game are the people that win the most in the game. Okay, if you play this as a game, you win. If you play this as let me see, off defense double F, I guess. Defense. Defense is double F or no? Not sure. Oh, it's with the S, I think. Defense and offense with the S, not with a C. All right, awesome. So let's talk about this. So this is a game like any other game. Okay, never mind what anybody think about it. Okay, if you're brand new here, we'll talk about wholesaling, which is essentially flipping houses for a living. That's what we'll talk about here. If you want to make money in real estate, you can do it completely side gig, as a side gig, without stressing yourself out. Okay, you can. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. So you can completely build this as a side gig completely, and you don't have to cold call. You don't have to drive for dollars like you may have heard out there. Okay. You don't have to don't knock. As a matter of fact, those are the least efficient and effective ways, and probably the most expensive way to do this business. Okay. So how do I know? Because I know most people have a laptop at home. Most people have a laptop. They have have a smartphone at home. So if you already have those things, the most expensive thing you can do, or the most expensive way you can try to build this business, is drive for dollars, door knock, or cold call. Okay, there are easiest and faster and easier and much more fun ways to build this business, and more importantly, efficiency and effectiveness. Okay, so let's go back to what we're saying: defense and offense. Okay, this is a game. At the end of the day, you have to treat it like a game, and you have to make sure you're having fun as you're building, as you're doing it. Okay, and if you don't, the chances are you're going to try to treat this like a job, and having a second job that's not going to pay you necessarily next Friday is probably the worst way you want to spend your time. You're going to get frustrated out of the business. Okay, so the good news about this business is that you can make $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 per deal. The highest I've made up to date that I'm still trying to beat is $82,000. Okay, from one deal. So you can make a lot of money in one deal that's closed. Okay, however, there's a certain amount of work that goes into it, and the whole point of me telling you that this is a game is to have you start treating this business like a game and put some fun in it. Okay, but if it's going to take so much time out of your life, right, if it's going to consume so much time and effort that you're not accounting for, such as driving for dollars and knocking on doors, that you're not tracking, you will get frustrated out of business, if that makes any sense, hopefully, right? All right, so I always tell you this is a game, and there's a defense way to play the game, there's an offense way to play the game. And what you truly want is a balance between the two, okay? But what I find that a lot of people, who is a 49-year-old person that's asking this question, if they've already spent $25,000, $50,000 with a guru somewhere, and they have a fence up, okay, and they're trying to make sure, hey, tell me everything up front, okay? If you try to upsell them, they take an offense to that. They have a fence up, and they're always playing the defense. And the problem with playing defense is that you're not going to attract money, okay? You won't, because again, you're forgetting that this is a game, and you have to kind of play both. So the only part I would play defense on is making sure that I don't waste my time. That's where you want to apply defense in this game. Make sure you don't waste time on things that will never return investment on that time. Why? Why not money as well? Well, because time you can get money back, but you can't get time back. You waste, especially if you're 49 or 39. Okay, a 90-year-old person still has time, right? And they can burn a lot of time making a lot of mistakes. They can figure things out, and within the next 5 years, if they become a multimillionaire, a millionaire, period, in 5 years' time, it's still way better than college, right? So that person has time to make mistakes, right? And again, the worst mistake you can make is think that you want to get defensive in terms of what you're spending money on, but not what you're spending time on. And it sounds sexy to say drive for dollars. It sounds sexy to go knock on doors because, hey, they're just one deal away, right? But the reality is that you're fighting against the forces of technology, and everyone else have access to the same technology, a laptop and a phone. That's all you need to run this game like a digital business. That's all you need, okay? So with that being said, you want to make sure you're playing defense on what you spend your time on, okay? And you want to play offense when it comes to money, okay? Why? Because you're going to get money back anyway. You need to spend money. Spend money fast as humanly possible without going broke, okay? Because if you have to look over your shoulder about your bills, that's going to frustrate your efforts, right? But I'm talking about spending money, play some offense with that. Take some risk, because you can always get money back, but you can't get time back. And a lot of people match this part, right? Basically miss it together. Basically, people play defense on money. They're afraid to spend money, okay? So when we tell them that a tool is going to cost $497, but it's going to save them a lot of time, right? Save them a lot of time, because they have this terrible experiences with some gurus out there. They tend to shy away from it, forgetting that the guru and the journey through the gurus is all part of the journey. That's how you figure out what doesn't work. But again, if all you did is spend time and somehow the money has not come back yet, then you have breath, you have life, and you can make better decisions because you can turn those knowledge into ammunitions, and you can use that to play offense. Okay, and but you know what not to waste time on much longer, and that's much more important than trying to save money. Okay, so another thing I can look at is saving money versus bringing in income. Right, I'm guilty of the same thing. I've been guilty of the same thing. There have been times that I've been guilty of the same thing that because I have some bruises on my back. If you're a successful entrepreneur, I've been doing it for 15 years, and I'm being consistent full time, right? Since 2006, so 14 years full time, right? Um, I have some bruises on my backs. I made some mistakes. 2008 recession wiped my business out before I could bring it back again, right? And all of that kind of like puts in your brain, you want to protect what you have, but that can also be the devil, right? That can also become the downside of this whole thing, because you can defend and protect yourself against attracting success, right? That's why you want to be careful. So I always tell people I divide it down into three parts. Okay. As far as resources, time, money, right? Time, money, right? I don't say tools because money will help you buy the tools necessary for this game, right? Time, money, energy, right? A skill set. Okay. So energy, all of the three is actually energy. So either time, money, or skill set. That's all energy, right? Once you learn skill sets, you learn it and you can use it over and over again. And then the return on investment on skill sets, right? Or time with your family, right? Or getting good sleep. The return on investment or happiness, the return on investment on those things are infinite. Okay. Return on investment on money is just as much as what you count on the spreadsheet. So money at the end of the day is limited. The reason why you are trying to build this game, the reason why you're trying to build this business is maybe primarily money, maybe secondarily money, right? But when it comes to level of importance, it's much more, I'm guessing it's much more about spending quality time, lifetime, lifestyle, okay? Being able to do things you want to do when you want to do it without money becoming a constraint. Okay. So naturally, what people do is if you get bruised up, like myself, you tend to protect that part of you, right? Like if you lost some money in the past, you want to like be conservative. So I'm conservative also. Okay. And because I'm conservative, I have to be careful because there's a good chance there will be places where I need to spend money, but I shy away from spending money. So I have to have some self control there and make sure that I am not shying away from using money as a tool and risk it and get a little bit more aggressive than I would naturally do. That's what separates me apart from the losers. Okay. So, how did this question become this whole preaching about money? Because trust me, okay, I have thousands of people coming through our system every day. So because of that, I uh, I I I encounter all the objections and all the hiccups that people have, and one of them is this: how much money is it going to take me to get started? It takes you nothing to get started. Think about it. Like the irony of all of this is that it costs you nothing to get started. You could watch free YouTube videos and you could get started. Now, again, like I said earlier, you want to play defense, you play offense with money. If you have some money on the side, if you don't have some money, you can create some money. You can set apart a budget and say, I got to get a little bit aggressive. I got to play some offense with some money, right? And play defense with what I spend my time on. Okay. Defend my time because that's basically life itself. Okay. The idea is to have a lifestyle that most people only dream about. So I want to be defensive about making sure I don't waste my time on things that will not return with respect to the fact that we live in an age of technology. There's smartphones and there's laptops to do this business. You can do it from anywhere. All right. You can reach out to 100 people in 1 minute as opposed to spending the next 100 minutes reaching out to one person. Who do you think is going to win the game? The person that's spending too much time with one person is going to lose because again, that's just not smart. Okay. So you want to make sure that things are measurable. How do you know what to measure? That you got to learn. You have to acquire the skill set. You have to plug in on a good coaching program so you can know what you're doing, so you can track everything, and you can, as time goes on, you just get better and better and better. Why? Because you're improving your skill set. But if you get stuck on, you know what, I just want to save money, I'm going to spend all this time watching YouTube videos and try to what's the word, there's a phrase, um like pick around what I think I should do in the business, right? But you probably are watching a video that's 2 3 years old too, meaning things can be obsolete very quickly, right? And you prefer to do that, you're playing defense on money, you're playing offense with your time. And basically, if you want, don't wonder if you're not winning, because again, that's exactly why, because you're spending your time, you're spending so much time trying to figure things out when you can actually leverage money and know what works right now. And it's not just coaching. Like when it comes to marketing, I will throw money at a campaign so I can learn quickly what's working and what's not working, and I kill the losers, and then I will scale out the winners. We do the same thing in marketing, not just coaching or mentorship, but basically in any kind of resource that can help you build your business more efficiently, more effectively. And that's what I actually preach when it comes to this. So back to the question, if you're a college student, I can respect that. That's a good thing. You're young and you want to learn this, and there are lots of young people. I wish I was 19 when I started. I was 24, 25 when I started. I'm 40 now. And it's a nice little sweet spot to get started. But something happened to me when I was 24. I was extremely broke. My credit was shot. So I was a college student, and I could basically say, you know what? How do I get started for free? I could have done the same thing at that time. But what I did was, like, I realized that, I mean, at that time they were charging, they still do, for the program I was trying to plug into, was $25,000 for coaching. And I went as high as $3,000 for a weekend. And that money, I didn't have it. I had to beg a friend of mine to give me his credit card. Why? Because I wanted it bad enough. And that's what this comes down to. If you want it bad enough, how much money is going to take you? Your money is not going to be a concern. Because the idea of this, if money is a concern, that's the more reason why you must get started. By all means, do everything in your power to figure out how to get the money to get started. How much money is it going to take you to get started first? Like I said earlier, it costs you nothing. It's just a matter of what route you want to go. You want to go the long route of trying to cherry pick. Okay, you want to cherry pick all around the internet and find out what's working. A lot of people do that. Well, most people also fail, right? Or you want to invest, or you want to consult with somebody, an elderly person, an uncle, a father, or somebody, like, can you invest in me? I'm trying to learn how to invest in real estate. I'll make you a partner. That's exactly what I did. I did with a friend of mine who had a credit card. I swiped the credit card. I paid him back like 30 to 60 days later. I paid him the money back. Not from the business. I didn't close the deal yet. Okay. But was it worth it? Okay. Well, 24 months later, I'd done $3 million worth of transactions. Okay, so was it worth it? I mean, you do the math, right? So I'm going to say, money should not be a concern. Investing money should not be a concern. If it's a concern, you just don't want this bad enough, and that's okay. I want you to understand that's okay. If you don't want it bad enough, that's okay. If you wanted it yesterday, but suddenly you don't want it anymore today, your excitement has died off. You're no longer committed. That's okay as well, right? So, but just know that that's the requirement. You have to want it bad enough, and then money becomes a non-issue. Okay, becomes a non-issue. So you get your first deal. It takes to start up and to get your first deal. How much money does it take to get your first deal? I'll tell you what. It doesn't cost $10,000 to get your first deal. Okay, each deal is worth, for me, it's worth an average of $25,000. Okay, you can make as low as $1,000, as high, from my experience, as high as $82,000. Okay, to get your first deal, it doesn't cost $10,000, and that's all it takes. That's all it should take if you want it bad enough. Now, how do you get started? You can get started on YouTube. You're watching me. You're learning this for free. Okay, so exactly what tools are you going to need? I don't know. It depends on what route you go. Okay, I'll tell you what. The minimum you need is a smartphone and a laptop. If you don't have those two, I advise you don't do it. Get a job first. Get $200. Buy you a laptop. Okay. Buy a smartphone. $100 you could find in a corner store somewhere for $100 a smartphone. Okay. But most people already have that. Okay. In fact, most broke people, their biggest asset is a phone, a smartphone. Okay. A smartphone that has Instagram on it, Facebook on it, Twitter on it. Okay. They spend a lot of time on those things for free, making those guys rich, right? So again, that's so again, money is not a concern if you want it bad enough. It becomes a concern if you don't want it bad enough. The key word being enough. Okay. Your first deal, like I already said it. How should I go about that? We need to know what program you're plugging in on first. Okay. What I'm going to tell you is that the better way than just watching YouTube videos and try to cherry pick to get started is to go to 11dayschallenge.com. Okay. 11dayschallenge.com and get started from there. Okay. The next best way is to probably read this book 10 to 15 times. If you're that broke, go download this for free at smartrealestatewholesaling.com. Read it 10 to 15 times. You will figure the rest out. All right. That's all I have for you today. Since I have a chopper making noise outside of my studio right now, I'm also just plug off. Sorry for coming in late, but I'm still here. Majority of us come back to watch a rebroadcast anyway. But thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like, give it a thumbs up. Okay, make sure you do those nice things, and make sure you get started and upgrade as far as you can. Get me on a coaching session with you. Okay, that's something that we're completely different here. We do jump on a coaching session and make sure people become successful. Okay, and beyond that, this part of the game as well, the last stage, which is deals, we handle that for our students if they want us to. Okay, so basically, you don't have to worry about looking for cash buyers. This is one of the biggest struggles of people in the industry. They lock up contracts, but there's no cash buyers. First of all, we are buyers. Okay, we buy as many as we can buy. And not only that, we also have a network of cash buyers that we work with all the time. So make sure you're passing all those things through us. We evaluate, make sure we underwrite, make sure things are looking good, and you make 10, 15, 20, $25,000 just from that. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I will see you on the next one, and peace.